I'm sure we are all familiar with the saying, you are what you eat. If you have noticed after eating certain foods, you will experience a headache, stomach ache, or a significant drop in energy. This is not normal for our bodies to react to food this way. If anything, the food that we eat should be fueling our body, giving us more energy. According to a member of the Nutritional Research Foundation, Joel Fuhrman, most Americans have made their bodies so toxic that when they enter the catabolic phase of the digestive cycle, they feel uncomfortable. For those who do not know what the catabolic phase is, it's when our body is processing and digesting the food that we just ate. I know we all have at least one favorite snack that comes in a package, whether it's candy, chips, or some Oreos that we always manage to get our hands on. Even though these foods contain zero nutritional value, only containing harmful dyes, pesticides, and preservatives, we eat them anyways. Why is that? That's because these foods contain so much sodium, salt, and fat that it triggers our brain and makes us crave it. It can be the same relationship between a drug addict and drugs. However, it becomes apparent when trying to eat healthy that most of the food around us is processed. Today, I'm going to explain how processed foods consumed daily have a direct link to your physical condition, mental state, and future health. Today, let's examine how processed foods make us feel on a daily basis. I'm sure we all have some foods that make us feel worse. This is because of the excessive amount of sodium and sugar that our bodies are not used to processing. On the other hand, someone who has a very highly processed diet might actually feel worse from eating a healthy whole food. This is because our bodies become used to what we fuel it with. If we are constantly feeding off of an excessive amount of sugar and sodium, our bodies begin to expect that when we eat. Finally, eating something with high protein or fiber will make our gut have to work harder to adjust to it, causing discomfort. Now, let's discuss the surprising effects processed food have on our mind. 1 in 5 Americans are diagnosed with a psychiatric disorder. That is a lot of people in our country who suffer from mental illness. This issue is directly linked to the excessive amount of sugar inflaming our mind and body. Processed foods have a significant role in our mental health. Recent research has demonstrated a link between eating processed foods and low mood. In this study, 10,000 U.S. adults reported the more processed foods that they ate, the more likely they would have feelings of mild depression and anxiety. There was a significant increase in mentally unhealthy days for those eating 60% or more of their calories from ultra-processed foods, according to Dr. Het. Additives in processed foods change our gut microbiota, and imbalances in our gut microbiota can impact the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which trigger our feelings of stress, worry, and anxiety. These imbalances are to blame for those feelings of sadness. Finally, let's observe the serious effects of our future health impacted by processed food. The American diet is deficient in antioxidants and phytochemicals that are crucial for normal immune function, maximizing brain health, preventing dementia, chronic illness, cancer, and premature aging. Roughly 60% of the calories in the American diet are processed food. The risk of cancer and disease increases exponentially from having processed food consistently in your diet. Consuming processed food frequently raises risk of obesity by 55% and diabetes type 2 by 40%. The excessive amount of sugar in these packaged foods causes inflammation to heart and blood vessels. This has a link to heart disease and heart failure. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in America and has been for the last 100 years straight. Isn't it ironic how processed foods have become more popular since the early 1900s, as well as the risk for diseases? Let's revisit the effects that processed food has on our mind and body. Having a diet that consists of processed food has a direct link to your physical condition, mental state, and future health. Today, we have become aware of the impact that consuming processed foods has on our body, mind, and health. So remember, most Americans have made their bodies so toxic that by the time they enter the catabolic phase, they feel uncomfortable. So the next time you feel fatigued or crampy after eating, reconsider what you're putting into your body. Thank you.